and my presentation is about Chemex coffee. It's a different way to make coffee. Usually, people have coffee pots, or they have their own fancy ways of making coffee, like the French press or the Keurig. Well, I'm here today to introduce the Chemex. It's actually been around for a long time, and I think it was actually invented in Seattle. So there you go. All right, so I'm going to start with the materials. We have the product. This is what it looks like. You feel like you're in science class, right? All right, then you have your filters, and this is just a smaller one if it's just you or a loved one, you know. And this is for a party. All right? So here we go. We got step 1. It's kind of bright. I didn't know it would come up this bright on this screen. However, the first step is just folding the filter. Now, some filters already come pre-folded, but for this one, for like the smaller one, you have to fold it yourself. So it just goes with like a couple easy steps. Okay, so first it comes out like this. It's just a flat sheet of paper. And then you fold it in half, fold the knob down, and then you continue just like this. Then you've got a cone. Alright? Now what's important about the cone is there's a little nozzle right here on the glass right here, and it's important that you put the crease where the nozzle is, because it'll help keep the cone in place. Now the next step is putting the coffee in. How much coffee do you use? You don't know. Now everybody likes coffee differently, stronger, bolder, sometimes it gets a little bitter. Not with Chemex coffee. Chemex coffee, you can add as many grounds as you want to make it stronger, and it won't be bitter. And that's because it's slow drip and it doesn't burn easily. Now I've already preheated up some water, so that way we can just brew it while I'm talking. So there's some important rules about even pouring it. When you pour Chemex coffee, there's a layer on the cone that you've created that has 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. And then there's part of the cone that only has one layer of filter. So in saying that, when you pour the water into the cone, you always want to pour in the direction of the 3 layers, because that way it'll hold more water and it will prevent it from draining the wrong way. Now, you just want to slowly pour it, very slowly. But you don't want the grounds to flow. You want to pour it just to the point where you can see the water, kind of like this right here. Be careful. Do not let them float. This is the main point of this process. You just mainly, you want them to bloom, but you don't want them to come up over, or even come over like the edge of the glass. You want that to be consistent. Now the average time that you make coffee with the Chemex is about 2 minutes. You just want to consistently pour over and over again. And personally for myself, I find that Chemex coffee is very smooth, and you can make it as bold as you want. But it has a really smooth taste to it. So step 4 is you just want to continue steps 1, 2, and 3 over and over again until you have as much coffee as you want. Now, there's even measurements on here. There's no scale or anything like that, but there is a little nodule on the side, and that marks the halfway point of the actual Chemex cup. If you have good eyesight, you can see it, but it's this little nodule. I'm just going to walk around. Every Chemex has this little, it's like a knuckle. So, there you go. And that's the halfway point, so that way, you know how much you're making. And this happens to be an 8-cup maker. This is a 4-cup. So halfway is 2 cups. This is like an 8-cup. So, one also important fact, always want to use purified water. You never want to use any water that you've just randomly found in nature. They recommend using the fresh water. I do have all these pictures cited, by the way, just at the end. So here are my citations, and I just want to say thank you for watching. But again, I'm just going to continue making this and talking about the actual Chemex itself. So It's a pretty slow brew, but on average, you want to spend about 2 minutes between each fill and refill session with the actual Chemex. It takes a while for the water to drain through all the grounds. The type of ground that you would actually need, you want a very coarse ground, and that's a little thicker, they're more, it's not as fine as a regular coffee ground, but you can also use those kinds of grounds. The grounds you want to avoid when brewing like this are the espresso grounds, the really fine grounds, because then it won't go through, it won't drip as, it takes a long time. I've actually tried it before thinking, I'm gonna get espresso, you know. So, when measuring, this is a 2 teaspoon measurer. For every cup you can have a teaspoon. It measures with 5 ounce cups instead of 8 ounce cups, but you can use however much you want. It won't get any bitter, it won't be bitter at all. So that's my presentation, and I want to thank you guys for watching. I have coffee for everyone.
Thanks.